Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today on this episode, we're going to be fishing a bait that was introduced last year at iCast from Z-Man called the Mulletron. Now, as you can tell by the name, it's designed after the shape of a mullet, which bass do eat mullet. There's a bunch of different locations around the country where there's bass and mullet, but obviously mullet is more of a saltwater forage species. So it is designed more for the saltwater market. However, it looks just like the majority of the bait fish that you'd find in freshwater too. And it has such a good swimming action with that wedge tail that I've started to really enjoy it for bass fishing. So I'm gonna fish it today. The jig head that we're gonna be fishing with the Mulletron today, there's two different options that you can use. You can use just a regular EWG belly weighted style hook that makes it a little bit more weedless, like the ZWG from Z-Man. This is a really good one. But today I wanna fish it with the Core Tackle tush. This is the first time I've actually tried it with the tush. And the tush essentially makes this bait into a internally weighted bait that has an exposed top hook. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the tush and we're going to go ahead and, I like to come in slightly on the top of the nose, and then you're gonna bring it through just like so. And with the Lastech, it makes it a whole lot easier. You just pull the nose like so. All right. And you might have to do it a couple times. I think I'm good on this one. I actually might do it again. And the beautiful thing about a Lastech is it's so durable. You can do it as many times as it takes to get it right. There we go. I think I like that a lot better. All right, and one other step, once I get it, in there, internally weighted the way I like it, I'm gonna take a little bit of super glue, drop the bait. I'm gonna take a little bit of super glue. I'm gonna pull back the weight out a little bit, or the weight back out, and we're gonna take this old crusty super glue container that probably is all dried up, but we're gonna try to get, there we go. We got some super glue. That's one of the reasons why, and I'm not sponsored by this company, but Avid Angler Solutions, the fishing glue, is so much better than regular super glue because it just doesn't seem to like dry up and become worthless as much. But I'm gonna put a little bit on those ridges on the weights, and then reinstall it, make sure that it's nice and straight. And you gotta do that quick before everything dries, but there you go. Now it's gonna stay in there like it was designed to have a weighted hook in there. And so it's all one, but we're gonna fish it that way just because we don't have a lot of cover to have to worry about, not a lot of grass. We're gonna be fishing this riprap bank. But I think it's gonna work really, really well. So let's go to town with the Mulletron with the Core Tackle tush inside. Let's go. There's a fish. All right. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. He wanted it. Look at that. Choke that Mulletron. Tush pretty much always gets a good hook set because it's nice and exposed. It's got a stout hook, so you don't have to worry about having to use light line with it. The swimming action on the Mulletron is super subtle. It's not like a boot style swim bait tail. Ooh, I just had one come up and hit it. He would have committed had I not had all this algae on there. but it's a really subtle action. You know, it's not like that very dramatic side-to-side action that a boot style tail will give a swim bait and cause it to have a lot of body roll. And there's a lot of situations where you want that body roll, you want that more prominent swimming action, but there's also a lot of times where you want a more subtle swimming action where the action is kind of consolidated to the tail. You know, it doesn't like translate all the way up the body like some swim baits do. You know, oh, there's a fish right there. Little guys. But, you know, I really like having a bunch of different types of swim baits with different swimming actions for that reason. You know, there's some days that they don't really want a very prominent action. They want something that's a little bit more subtle, you know, because bait fish themselves are pretty subtle. You know, when they're swimming around, they're not like wiggling all over the place. They're you know, they have very conservative movements, and they're very efficient with their movements. So just a little bit of tail thrust will move them plenty. So it's not like, you know, really most swim baits are very unnatural because they're just constantly doing this. A natural bait fish isn't, you know, constantly wagging its tail like that. It has a very subtle, you know, swimming motion. So that's why something like the Mulletron tends to work so well. That tush, man, that is a killer swim bait hook. Oh yeah, too much fun, man. It's one of the things, whenever you're fishing any swim bait, really, you really want to be aware of, you know, your hook setting. You know, you're gonna feel kind of slack pushed into the line, and it's really important to kind of delay your hook set, just like a topwater bite. At least I think that that's really important. There we go. Little guy. Each one of these fish is just choking it, and it's just, you know, and it's crazy because we all think that a swim bait needs a ton of action, but this bait has very, very little kicking action, you know, and it just works so well. It's almost like fishing something like a spy bait, you know, where it's all about the subtlety. That's the reason why it's so effective. Oh man, didn't realize he was at the surface and so small. One thing that's impressing me about this bait is the fact that they're all getting it. I haven't had a single miss. They're all choking it. Well, anyways, guys, you get the point. The Mulletron is a bait that even though it's designed for saltwater, works great for bass, and it is way more subtle than other swim baits on the market. So if you need a bait that's got a little bit more of a subtle swimming action, try the Mulletron, and it's something that bass just aren't going to see all that often. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. There's going to be links in the description below if you're looking to purchase the Mulletron, the tush, or you know, the other stuff that I use today. And if you have a topic you want me to do a video on, drop a comment below as well. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. I'm going to see you out on the water. Trust the process.